All right. Hey, it's Max here.
Going
With
on, Max?
what's going on, Devin?
Yeah,
How about you tell me about yourself and kind of what's going on?
yeah, Max. 35 years old, in the Army. I'm a field medic, and just recently was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and I'm having a pretty tough time trying to get through kind of what's everything that's going on. It's been a really rough uh, time since my time here in the military and all that.
Okay, so you just got out, or
Yeah, I'm still in. I'm still here and on camp and all that, and I've been having some issues and reached out, and people I've been talking to said I'm demonstrating common
Mhm.
signs of PTSD, and it's been a tough time trying to adjust to that now that there's an actual term to what's been going on. So there's been kind of an ease, but then again now that unknown of what to do and where to go from here because I feel this
Right.
constant feeling of being on edge when I'm doing my job. There's no real limitation to what's going on. I'm always ready to go.
Hmm.
But when I'm just sitting here kind of talking and by myself, I feel like there's always something that's going to go wrong and
Yeah,
can't sleep. Kind of want to stay away from everybody because I feel like it's negatively impacting how they are around me. So don't really want to be around anybody when
right.
I'm not out in the field.
There's like this, and I don't want to,
Hmm.
set anything off or anything, but there's
Hmm.
like a kind of like cloud almost kind of following you or something like that.
Yeah, like there's always that feeling of something's going to go wrong, and like I said, when I'm not in the field trying to help out and walking around, I'm just always looking for that
Hmm.
opportunity where something bad is going to happen, and I'm going to have to be the first one there. And it's just always a state of anxiety when I'm walking around by myself.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Um, so I mean, have you? I mean, when you're just kind of like in your bunker, you know,
Hmm.
hanging out, um, do you ever kind of just snap on guys that you wouldn't, or if you're calling back home, do you kind of do anything more abnormal than you wouldn't before you kind of notice these things going on?
I don't notice it as something as abnormal. I still feel that it's me being myself, but
Mhm.
something that has been kind of a common tale is that I don't really talk too much on the phone, and that when I am around other guys, is that I usually tend to go by myself, and whether it's go drink by myself or whether it's to go do something, I'm by myself. And if people try to invite me, I usually people tell me I'm very rude about how I tell them no and that I just want to be alone. So I guess you could say that my personality, it's not that's not normal with me to be a rude person. So I guess you could say there's been a personality change and very rude, um, judgmental, and avoidance kind of personality type now.
Hmm.
Because I just don't want to go hang out with these people when something happened and then have to leave them or something like that. Just don't want to be around that or have to be with that stigma.
Right, and yeah, it's totally understandable too.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean, other than almost anticipating that something's gonna go wrong. Uh,
Hmm.
is there like if you're like flipping through a book or anything, or I mean, I don't know how much time you get
Hmm.
on the internet or anything like that.
Hmm.
Is there anything that separates you from like the battlefield and everything, the camp, to civilian life, where
Hmm.
anything about civilian life side of things? Um,
Uh, I've I've been looking for those avenues. I haven't been able to find something. I used to be very big into bodybuilding and very big into taking care of myself before going in, and now focusing on taking care of everybody else around me. So
mhm.
I've started doing some things to start focusing on myself a lot more. So that's definitely something that brings me out of that zone of something's always going wrong because now I have something to kind of pay attention to other than just waiting for something bad to go wrong.
That's good. Yeah, it's really
Mhm.
good. You've kind of started, um, your own almost, self recovery, we could say.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
it's good you identify that, and it's good that um,
Mhm.
you're considering that,
Hmm.
the, you know, the events that have happened, to you recently and over time, uh, in the military, um, you know, you've kind of, acknowledged that. So that's really good. Um, have you thought about talking to, no, I'm glad you came to me and,
Hmm.
want to, talk about it. But have you talked to or thought about talking to like a therapist or anything? Or is there anything that, would draw you away from that?
Uh, I would say no. I definitely would be open to talking to somebody because now that I have this kind of terminology of PTSD, I'd really like to figure out how it kind of works and how I can try to help myself. Being a very independent kind of person, I'd like to figure out how to do that. Don't really want to continue to live with this sense of on edge. So whatever I can do to kind of help myself and kind of get back to not being by myself and figuring out how to work through some of these difficulties of being on edge and avoiding a lot of people when I'm not inside that medical zone in the military. So definitely would be willing to talk to somebody about that.
Right. And yeah, I mean, the fact that you're open to that is really good. I mean, they're gonna know more about that than I personally will.
Hmm.
And I wish I knew more for you and to give you more information about it. Uh,
Hmm.
but I mean, they're definitely going to be more of the experts on that side.
Hmm.
And as far as once eventually when you get back home and once you are technically a civilian again and you're out of the military,
Hmm.
you're I can't talk right now. Goodness, you're gonna need a little support and guidance to kind of
Hmm.
turning to
Hmm.
civilian mode almost. And
Okay.
being a soldier and everything like that, that's
Hmm.
definitely not gonna leave you. Like
Hmm.
I'm not gonna be one to say like, oh yeah, it's gonna switch like that. Like
Hmm.
you're in.
Yeah, I definitely want to be able to make that transition a lot easier as
Yeah,
I start to move towards that. So that's why I would like to get on top of it as soon as possible and work on helping myself in order to help others when I do enter that civilian life.
right. And it might be good. I mean, you can talk to a therapist about this, but it
Hmm.
might be good to maybe. And I know you're not really a group person or anything like that, but maybe like find just one person or two people that maybe might be going through the same thing.
Hmm.
You're open to talking to them about it a little bit and kind of maybe hashing things out,
Hmm.
seeing if you can kind of make that transition, uh, you know, from where you are now to, a much better mental living situation for yourself. You could possibly do that. Um,
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have to look out for others who have
yeah.
similar issues or who have made to it. Definitely would look into that.
hmm And, and I mean, if you kind of talk about it, with family and stuff, and those, and I'm not saying your family's going to say this or your friends are going to say this, but I mean there's no right treatment for this. It's all
Mhm.
individual. It's all personally based and everything like that. So Nancy has PTSD and she does this and this and this. You need to do that. That's not necessarily true. So I just want to make sure
Mhm.
that there's no right or wrong way
Mhm.
about this. Um, but I can get you in contact with one of the therapists on base, or we can probably set something up if we kind of know details about when you'll be back home and stuff like that. If you're open to that, we
Mhm.
can work
Yeah,
together.
definitely. It's definitely good to know that it's going to be that there's not. It's kind of unsettling. It makes it a little on edge that there's not one way and that there's not going to be a fast way. But definitely
Yeah.
willing to kind of reach out and talk to whoever I need to talk to figure out my own maybe specific way to overcome this
hmm
issue that I'm having and getting better for that civilian life.
hmm Yeah. But for now, I mean, keep up that weightlifting. Um,
Hmm.
it definitely seems like a great outlet, and kind of helps reduce stress and everything like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, just keep at it, man. Uh, you can come in and see me, shoot me an email, or give me a call whenever uh,
Hmm.
just need to talk or anything. Um, but pretty soon here we'll set some up for you.
Sounds great. I appreciate the help there, Max.
All right, no problem, Devin.
All right. All right. See ya.
Yeah.